Hi, I'm Dan from Custom Carts. We get a lot of questions about the difficulty of a do-it-yourselfer installing a lift kit at home. Today we'll be installing the Jake's lift kit on this club car precedent. We'll be using air tools in the shop, but basic hand tools at home will work out just fine. Jake's includes everything in the kit that you need, including hardware and instructions in the box. So I'm just going to start by securely jacking up our car on jack stands to make sure that it's good and safe to be working around the car. Use a 3/4 inch impact gun to take the wheel off. Now, with the Jake's lift kit, what we'll be installing is we'll be removing the stock spindles and installing the new drop-down spindle that will go in this place. So we have to remove the hub assembly off of the stock spindle. By doing that, we'll be able to remove the bearing assembly, and it's a 13/16 socket. You have to disconnect the tie rod from the spindle. There's a safety pin on the one side. Just pop that down, slide it out. You'll need a 17 mil wrench and a 3/4 inch socket. To remove that. Using a shallow wall 3/4 inch socket to remove the kingpin nut, which retains the stock spindle in place. Stock spindle has been removed. Just cleaning up the bottom of this original kingpin here. There's a small thrust washer on the bottom. We need to reuse this on our new kingpin for the Jake's kit. Do not discard this. I'm just going to use a 1/2 inch socket, pull this bolt out, and discard this kingpin. Now, Jake's kit for the club car precedent comes with a new offset kingpin. So what we're going to do is we're going to install this now. We just need to tighten that up. A 1/2 inch socket, 1/2 inch wrench. Now, selecting our drop-down spindle, this is the Jake's way of describing left or right, which was a D stamped in the casting for driver's side. So before we install the spindle, we're just going to install this thrust washer on the kingpin. We'll be reusing the original top block nut on the new kingpin. With the shallow wall 3/4 inch socket. So now that we've made sure that everything is securely fastened, we need to grease the spindle before we can install our tie rod plate on. Spindle's good and full. Let's wipe that off. Now a trick to these tie rod brackets is that the angle of the way the bracket is facing should always point in towards the rack and pinion on the car. We'll be using the supplied hardware that Jake's has supplied. You don't have to use any thread locker because the Jake's kit has nylock on the nuts. We'll just tighten these up. A 1/2 inch socket, 1/2 inch wrench. Now we've got this side all buttoned up and tightened up. What we're going to do is reinstall the bearing and hub assembly. We'll be using the Jake's lock nut. Now the trick to installing this is to not to compress your bearings too tight. We're using a 1 1/4 inch socket to tighten this up. And once it's tight, make sure the bearing's got some free play in it. And I'll back it off a 1/4 turn. Always make sure you securely fasten your cotter pin. Reinstall our dust cap. Now we can install our new wheels. Be installing these 12-inch Rocks Vegas wheels with a 22-inch by 10.5 by 12 tire. Your stock wheels and tires will not work with the Jake's lift kit. Just remember, it's the same procedure for the left side as it is the right. And I'm Dan from Custom Carts.